Today we're going to study applications of linear equations in one variable. When we say application, it refers to a word problem. How to solve a word problem? We will have 5 steps. Step 1. Read the problem and identify what is required. Step 2. Represent the required value by a variable. Translate the condition into an equation. Step 3. Solve the equation to get the value of the variable. Step 4. Check the answer if it satisfies the condition of the problem. Step 5. Answer the question with a complete sentence. Let's have example 1. Find 3 consecutive odd integers whose sum is 135. Step 1 says, read the problem and identify what is required. In here, the required is 3 consecutive odd integers. Step 2. Represent the required value by a variable. Translate the condition into an equation. Before I proceed, let us review. There is an example here of 3 consecutive odd integers: 23, 25, and 27. Let us go now to represent the required value by a variable. Let n be the first odd integer, and for the second odd integer we will write n plus 2. As we see here in the example, the difference between one odd integer to the next is 2. So we will put here n plus 2. For the third odd integer, we are going to write n plus 4, and this is with respect to the first odd integer. Look at our example here. The first odd integer is 23. The third is the 27. The gap between 23 and 27 is 4. So we write here n plus 4 as the third odd integer. Now we will translate the condition into an equation. The problem says the sum is 135. So we're going to put the first odd integer, that is the n, it's now here, plus the second odd integer, that is the n plus 2, and plus the third odd integer, that is the n plus 4, equals the total of 135. For step 3, solve the equation to get the value of the variable. So let us simplify by first removing the grouping symbol. So it's now like this, where we can now combine the variables and we combine the constants. This is n plus n plus n. We will have the 3n, and the constant 2 plus 4 is positive 6, equals 135. We want to remove this positive 6 on this side to keep the 3n alone in this left side. So we're going to subtract 6 to the left side. Also put a negative 6 on the right side. And the 6 minus 6 here will be equal to 0. So only 3n comes down. We simplify 135 minus 6, and that is 129. We want to get the value of n, So we will divide the equation by the coefficient of n, and that is 3. So the 3n divided by 3 equals the 129 divided by 3 also. We can now cancel the coefficient 3 and the divisor 3. So we'll have now the n equals 129 divided by 3 is 43. So n is equal to 43. Take note, this n is our first odd integer as we represent in the beginning. So I put the 43 for the first odd integer. To compute the second odd integer, we'll now have this 43 to be substituted here and then plus 2. And that's where we get this 45. Now for the third odd integer, again we will use the value of n, that is the first odd integer, and then plus 4. So 43 plus 4, we will get the 47. For step 4, we will check the answer if it satisfies the condition of the problem. So if we're going to add these three odd integers and they are consecutive, the sum must be equal to 135. If we compute this, so 135, and it is equal to 135 on the right side. So step 5, we will answer the question with a complete sentence. The three consecutive odd integers are 43, 45, and 47. This is our final answer. Let's have example 2. The measure of one angle of a right triangle is 50 degrees more than measure of the smallest angle. Find the measures of all three angles of the triangle. Step 1, we read the problem and identify what is required. So we need to get three angles of the right triangle. Step 2, represent the required value by a variable. Translate the condition into an equation. First, let us draw a right triangle here. Let us get one angle. We will name this as x. So in here it says we let x to be the smallest angle. And then the first condition says the measure of one angle of a right triangle is 50 more than measure of the smallest angle. It means the second angle is compared to the smallest angle and the next angle is 50 more than. So you see the second angle here, it is compared to the first angle and it is written here x plus 50 degrees. So this x plus 50 degrees, that is the second angle or this another angle. The third angle is the right angle and we know that this is equal to 90 degrees. So we have now the representations of the three angles. We're going to translate now the condition into an equation. Please note that the sum of all angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. So we will put these three angles in an equation. So this is now the x, the smallest angle, plus the second angle, the x plus 50 degrees, plus the right angle, 90 degrees, equals the 180 degrees. Step 3, we will solve the equation to get the value of the variable. So let us simplify this. First, let us remove the grouping symbol. since it is preceded by a positive sign, we can remove the grouping symbol right away. It will be like this now, where we can now combine the x and x, also the 50 degrees plus the 90 degrees. We have now 2x plus 140 degrees equals 180 degrees. So we want these 2x to be isolated. We are going to remove the 140 degrees here. So I will subtract the value 140 degrees on the left side. Also this negative 140 degrees on the right. So we can now cancel the 140 degrees minus 140 degrees. It becomes 0. The 2x comes down, then equals 180 degrees minus 140 degrees equals 40 degrees. We want to get the value of x, so we will divide the equation by the coefficient of x, which is 2. So the 2x divided by 2 equals the 40 degrees divided by 2. We can now cancel the coefficient with the 2 in the denominator. Only x comes down, and this is equal to 20 degrees. So take note, our x, in the beginning we say that this is the smallest angle. So we can put the value of the 20 degrees on the smallest angle. Since we have now the value of the smallest, we can now compute for the next angle. So we will use this x, the 20 degrees, in here. So this is 20 degrees plus 50 degrees. The other angle will be 70 degrees. And of course, the third angle is already there. It's 90 degrees. Step 4. Check the answer if it satisfies the condition of the problem. Look at our first condition here, that the two angles are compared. The middle angle should be 50% more than the smallest. So look at this 20 degrees and the 70 degrees. The difference is 50 degrees. So that is satisfied. And also, if we're going to add the 20 plus 70 plus 90, it is equal to 180 degrees. So step 5, we will answer the question with a complete sentence. We will write the three angles are 20 degrees, 70 degrees, and 90 degrees. And this is our final answer. Let's have example 3. One side of a triangle is 3 feet less than the first side. The third side is 5 feet less than twice the first. The perimeter is 20 feet. Find the length of the three sides of the triangle. Step 1. We read the problem and identify what is required. And that is the three sides of the triangle. Step 2. Represent the required value by a variable, and we will translate the condition into an equation. Let us draw one triangle here, and we will assign the first side to be x, and we say x equals the first side. For the first condition here, it says one side of a triangle is 3 feet less than the first side. The first condition describes the second side. So if we have the first side as x, the second side will be x minus 3. This is the mathematical representation of the first condition. One side of a triangle is 3 feet less than the first side. Now let's go to the second condition. The third side is 5 feet less than twice the first. So the third side is also compared with the first side. So with the x, using the x variable, we will write like this, 2x minus 5. Let us read again. The third side is 5 feet less than twice the first. So we multiply the x by 2 and then we subtract by 5. And that is the third side. Another condition is the perimeter is 20 feet. Let us remember, the perimeter of a triangle is the sum of all sides. And in this problem, the perimeter is given as 20 feet. And then translate the condition into an equation. It means we're going to add the three sides. X is here the first side, plus the second side, which is the x minus 3, plus the third side, 2x minus 5, equals the total 20. That is the perimeter. So step 3, let us solve the equation to get the value of the variable. First, we will remove the grouping symbol. Both grouping symbols are preceded by a plus sign. We can remove it right away. So it's now like this. And then we are going to combine the variables, also combine the constants. X plus 2x equals 4x. The negative 3 and negative 5 becomes negative 8 equals 20. We want this 4x to be alone on the left side, and this is negative 8, so I'm going to put a plus 8 so that it will cancel this negative 8. So plus 8 is added on the left side, also on the right side. So the negative 8 plus 8 becomes 0. Only the 4x comes down, equals 20 plus 8 is 28. Let us divide the equation by the coefficient of x, which is 4. 4x divided by 4 equals 28 divided by 4. So we can now cancel the 4 and the 4. Only x is here, equals the quotient 7. So x equals 7. It means the 7, that is the first side of the triangle, and that is 7 feet. To compute now for the second side, we will use the 7. We substitute here, so 7 minus 3 equals 4. And the second side is 4 feet. For the third side, I'm going to use again the value 7. Substitute in the x here. So 2 times 7 becomes 14, minus 5 is 9. So 9 feet for the third side. Step 4, check the answer if it satisfies the condition of the problem. Look at the first condition. The first condition is the comparison of the first side and the second side. It says, one side of a triangle is 3 feet less than the first side. So our first side is 7 feet. The second side is 4 feet. So that is 3 feet less. And it is satisfied. The second condition, the third side is 5 feet less than twice the first. Again, it is a comparison of the first and the third. If I multiply by 2 the first side, 7 times 2 is 14, and minus 5, it will be 9. So the second condition is satisfied. Next, the third condition is the perimeter is 20 feet. If I add the sides, 7 feet plus 4 feet plus 9 feet, the total is 20 feet, and the third condition is satisfied. So we're going to put the answer in a complete sentence. The length of the three sides of the triangle are 7 feet, 4 feet, and 9 feet. And this is our final answer. Example 4. The sum of 7 times a number and 8 is 36. Find the number. We need a number here, so we let n be the number. And then we translate the statement into equation. Please notice that we have here 7 times a number. That means 7n. Here there is also the word 8. So we have the 8, and it says here the sum of 7 times a number and 8. So the sum here means we need to add the 7n and the 8. And then is 36. So this is equal to 36. Now we have a linear equation in one variable. Then we solve for n. The 8 we transpose to the right, so from positive, it becomes negative 8. So 36 minus 8 on the right side. When we simplify, the right side becomes 28. And then we divide this equation by the coefficient of n, which is 7. Dividing by 7, the left side becomes n, and the right side becomes 4. So n here is the number. So we said that the number is 4. If we want to check if our answer is correct, we can substitute this value in this equation. And when we simplify the left side, you will find out that this is equal to 36. Example 5. The sum of two numbers is negative 15. One number is 9 less than the other. Find the numbers. When we analyze this problem, it requires two numbers. So, we let n to be the first number. What about the second number? The second number is described in the second sentence. It says, one number is 9 less than the other. When we say that n is the bigger number, it means the second number must be n minus 9. Then, we translate the statement into equation, particularly the first sentence. It says, the sum of two numbers. So, meaning, we're going to add the first number and the second number. So, we write n plus n minus 9. And it says, is negative 15. So, we write here equals negative 15. Then we solve for n. We can remove the grouping symbol and combine this n and this n. So we have n plus n is 2n. Then we copy the negative 9 equals negative 15. This negative 9 we transpose to the right. It becomes positive 9. We simplify negative 15 plus 9, that will be negative 6. And we divide this equation by the coefficient of n, which is 2. When we do that, the left side becomes n, and the right side is negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So we have n equals negative 3. In the beginning, we said that n is the first number. Now, let's solve for the second number. We say that the second number is n minus 9. So we substitute the value of n, which is negative 3, in this equation. So, second number equals negative 3 minus 9. And this will be negative 12. So, we stop. We have now the two numbers. The first number, negative 3. Second number is negative 12. So we say that the two numbers are negative 3 and negative 12. If we want to check if the answer is correct, we check the conditions of the problem. It says the sum of two numbers is negative 15. When we add negative 3 and negative 12, the answer is negative 15. So first condition is satisfied. Second condition, one number is 9 less than the other. Observe that negative 3 minus negative 12, the answer is 9. So second condition is also satisfied. Example 6. Find three consecutive numbers whose sum is negative 54. By the nature of consecutive numbers, and we need three consecutive numbers, so we assign n to be the first number, n plus 1 to be the second number, and n plus 2 equals the third number. And then we translate the statement into equation. It says here the sum, which means we're going to add the three numbers. So we have n, the first number, plus the second number, n plus 1, plus the third number, n plus 2. And the total is negative 54. So we have equals negative 54. Then let us solve for n. First, we can remove the grouping symbols and we combine n plus n plus n. That will be 3n. Also, we combine plus 1 and plus 2. So we have here plus 3, then equals the right side, negative 54. This positive 3 we transpose, so we have negative 3. We simplify the right side as negative 57. We solve for n further. We divide this equation by the coefficient of n, which is 3. So by doing so, the left side becomes n, and the right side, negative 57, divided by 3, is negative 19. So in the beginning, we said that n is the first number. What about the second number and the third number? Let's begin with the second number. The equation is n plus 1. We found the value of n as negative 19. So we substitute it here. So the second number now is negative 19 plus 1. And this is equal to negative 18. What about the third number? The equation is n plus 2. We get the n to be that negative 19. So the third number now is negative 19 plus 2. And the answer is negative 17. Now we have the three consecutive numbers as required by the problem. So we write the three numbers are negative 19, negative 18, and negative 17. If we want to check if these numbers are the answer for this problem, first we observe that the three numbers are consecutive to each other. Next, if we add these three numbers, the total is negative 54. Let us have more sample problems. Problem 1. The difference of a number and 12 is 3. Find the number. We let n to be the number. Then we translate this statement into an equation. The word difference here means subtraction or minus. That means the number we subtract by 12 and the answer is 3. So we write n minus 12 equals 3. Then we solve for n. This negative 12 we transpose to the right. So we have 3 plus 12. And the sum is 15. This is the value of n. This is the number that we want. And then let us check. This 15 minus 12, the answer is 3. So this number satisfies the problem. Problem 2. The sum of 3 times a number and 8 is 23. Find the number. We want one number, so the n is the number. Now let us translate this statement into an equation. There is the word sum, that means addition. We're going to add two numbers. And note that we have 3 times a number. So that means 3n. And then the number 8, and the sum is written here, that will be 3n plus 8 equals this number 23. Let us now solve for n. The positive 8 we transpose to the right. It becomes negative. So 23 minus 8 is 15. Let us divide this equation by the coefficient of n, that is 3. Or we say that n equals 15 divided by 3. And the quotient is 5. Let us check if this number 5 satisfies the condition. This 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. And then plus number 8, the total is 23. Indeed, it satisfies the condition. This is the answer. Problem 3. The sum of two numbers is 20. One number is 4 less than the other. Find the numbers. In here we need two numbers. So we can assume x to be the first number and y to be the second number. We can see here in the problem we have two statements. There will be two conditions. Let's begin with condition 1. The sum of two numbers is 20. That means we're going to add the x and y. So x plus y equals 20. This is equation 1. The second statement corresponds to condition 2 or equation 2. One number is 4 less than the other. That means we're comparing the x and y. 1 is less than 4. So that means we can write y equals x minus 4. This is equation 2. Next thing we do, we substitute the value of y from equation 2 to equation 1. Our equation 1 is x plus y equals 20. So we write like this. Instead of writing y, we write now this value x minus 4. Let us now simplify and solve for x. We remove the grouping symbol and then we combine this x plus x. So the left side becomes 2x minus 4 equals the right side 20. Let us solve for x. The negative 4 we transpose to the right becomes positive 4. 20 plus 4 is 24. Then x equals 24 divided by 2. And the quotient is 12. In the beginning, we said that the x is the first number. Now let us solve for y. To get y, substitute the value of x to equation 2. The equation 2 says y equals x minus 4. So we have like this. For the x, we substitute by 12. Then we solve for y. That is 12 minus 4 is 8. Now this is the second number. Let us check if these two numbers satisfy our conditions. First condition, the sum of two numbers. If we add 12 and 8, the answer is 20. So first condition is satisfied. Second condition, one number is 4 less than the other. This number 8 is less by 4 compared to number 12. So the second condition is also satisfied. Therefore, we conclude that these two numbers are the answer for the problem. Problem 4. Find three consecutive integers whose sum is negative 3. The word consecutive here means we are going to have three numbers. Since they are consecutive, the first number we assume as n. For the second number, we write n plus 1. And for the third number, we write n plus 2. The problem says the sum or total is negative 3. That means we're going to add these three numbers. So it becomes like this. And the first number plus the second number n plus 1 plus the third number n plus 2 equals total is negative 3. Let us now simplify the left side. We remove the grouping symbols respectively. We combine all n and we combine all numbers. So the left side becomes 3n plus 3 equals the right side negative 3. Let us now solve for n. This positive 3 we transpose to the right, becomes negative 3. And the right side becomes negative 6. When we solve for n, we have now negative 6 divided by 3. And the quotient is negative 2. In the beginning, we said that n is the first number. And the value now is negative 2. Now the second number. Our formula is n plus 1. And here is negative 2. We substitute it here. So negative 2 plus 1 equals negative 1. We go for the third number and the formula is here, n plus 2. We substitute the value of n, which is negative 2, for this n. Negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. Now we have the three numbers, negative 2, negative 1, 0. We can see that these three numbers are consecutive integers. Now, let us see if it satisfies that when we add the three numbers, the sum is negative 3. Negative 2 plus negative 1 plus 0, the total is negative 3. Therefore, these three numbers satisfy our problem. These are the answer. Problem 5. Find three consecutive even integers whose sum is 60. In this problem, we need three numbers, but they should be consecutive and even. So we write let n equals the first number. Since it is even, we write here n plus 2 equals the second number. For the third number, because these are consecutive even, we write here n plus 4. This is the third. Now, the total must be 60. So we add the three numbers, n, the first number, plus the second number, n plus 2, plus the third number, n plus 4, equals 60. Let us simplify the left side and solve for n. We remove the grouping symbols and we combine the n's and the numbers. The left side becomes 3n plus 6 equals 60. Let us solve for n. Plus 6, we transpose to the right. We have now negative 6. So 60 minus 6 is 54. Solving for n now, n equals 54 divided by 3, and the quotient is 18. In the beginning, we say that this n is the first number. Let us now compute for the second number. The formula is here, n plus 2. We substitute the value of n, which is 18, here. So we have 18 plus 2, and the answer is 20. This is the second number. For the third number, this is our formula also, n plus 4. We substitute this 18 to this n, so we have 18 plus 4 equals 22. Here we have the three numbers, 18, 20, 22. We can see that these three numbers are consecutive and even. Now, let us check if the sum for the three numbers is 60. So 18 plus 20 plus 22, the total is 60. Indeed, the answer for this problem are these three numbers, 18, 20, and 22. Problem 6. Find three consecutive odd integers whose sum is negative 99. We need three numbers. They must be consecutive and they must be odd integers. So we let n equals the first number or first integer. The second consecutive odd integer is n plus 2. For the third number that is consecutive and odd, we write here. Then the problem says the sum must be negative 99. We're going to add these three numbers. So we have n, the first number, plus the second number, n plus 2, plus the third number, n plus 4, equals this total, negative 99. We simplify the left side, and then we combine the n and the numbers. So we have 3n plus 6 equals the negative 99. Let us now solve for n. This positive 6 we transpose to the right. We have negative 6 in here. So we combine negative 99 minus 6. The right side is now negative 105. So the value of n is negative 105 divided by 3. And the quotient is negative 35. We have now the value for n. This is our first number. We compute for the second number. Our formula is n plus 2. We substitute the negative 35 for the n, so negative 35 plus 2. The answer is negative 33. For the third number, our formula is n plus 4. We substitute this negative 35 to this n. Negative 35 plus 4. And the answer is negative 31. We have now the three numbers, negative 35, negative 33, negative 31. Note that these three numbers are consecutive and odd integers. Now with regard to the total or the sum, if we add negative 35 plus negative 33 plus negative 31, the total is negative 99. Indeed, these three numbers are the answer for this problem. Problem 7. The angles in a triangle are such that one angle is twice the smallest angle, while the third angle is 3 times as large as the smallest angle. Find the measures of all three angles. Let us draw one triangle. We assume the smallest angle to be the x. Now for the y, it says this is twice the smallest angle. So for the y, we write 2x. And for the other angle, the z angle, this is the third. The problem says the third angle is 3 times as large as the smallest. So we write here z equals 3x. Then we know the formula. Sum of angles of any triangle is 180 degrees. That means we are going to add the three angles. So x plus y plus z equals 180 degrees. Now we substitute the value of y and z based on the value of x. That means for the y, we write 2x. For the z, we write here 3x. Now let us simplify. The left side, we combine x plus 2x plus 3x. That is 6x equals 180 degrees. We solve for x. 180 degrees divided by 6 equals 30 degrees. This is x, or the smallest angle. Now the second angle. our value here is y, and we have 2x. So we substitute this value of x, 30 degrees, in here. So 2 times 30, we get 60 degrees. This is the second angle. For the third angle, we have a formula 3x. We substitute the value of x, that is 30, in here. 3 times 30 degrees. So we have 90 degrees. We have here now 3 angles, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. Let us check if these 3 angles satisfied our conditions. The smallest angle is 30. The second angle is twice 30, that is 60. And the third angle is 3 times this 30. So we got here 90 degrees. Also, if we add the 3 angles, the total must be this 180 degrees. So 30 plus 60 plus 90 equals 180 degrees. Indeed, these 3 angles are the answer for this problem.